You in the front row.
I was wondering, have you got any funny stories from the recording booth?
Funny stories from the recording booth. Stop me if you've heard any of these, though. We were once doing, it was actually an ARG, it's an alternate reality game. And it was a promotional thing for the Halo 2 release. It was called I Love Bees. And it was this weird, I mean, it was genius. It was like mad genius. They set up this website, and then they started dropping little hints throughout the internet. And I think at the end of like the Halo 2 trailer, and people started following this journey. It was sort of this mystery journey about this girl who had this site, that sold honey off of it. That it spiraled into this underworld thing, and you had to find clues and solve puzzles and then meet people in the real world. I mean, it was this amazing sort of setup. And so they hired some actors to do a lot of voice stuff for this experimental ARG thing that they had set up. And they wanted the VOD to be ultra realistic. And we were doing a scene in which some of the characters get into this fight in this apartment. And usually, oftentimes you'll record alone, you'll record solo, but they wanted to have us together so that we could, really get the feeling, off each other. There were 3 of us in there, and we said, and generally when you have to do a fight like that, you can't actually do a fight because A, you have to stay on mic. So if I'm fighting and I walk over here, you lose it, you lose the performance. And B, if you get in a scuffle and you get, like hitting the mic, then you also ruin the take because you're doing that. But they said, no, I want it to be realistic, so just get in there, and if you guys want to mix it up and fight a little bit, that'd be fine. And we're like, okay, And so we did, and it was much as you suspected. I fell over a chair, and then he charged, and then he was going off mic, and we were hitting the mic and everything, which just goes to show you that reality is not reality in the booth. So oftentimes when I've worked with directors who are primarily on-camera directors for film, this spirals right into, I was just working on something we were recording as a group, and the director, who will go unnamed because I don't want to make too much fun of him, he was an on-camera director. He's not used to directing voiceover. And we were recording fight sounds for these animated shorts that are going to be on machinima.com, I think. But he goes, okay, now I want you to just give me some blocking noises that we can use. And I gave him, like I would normally do. And he goes, no, it's not realistic enough. I'll tell you what, here, I'm going to stand over here across the mic from you, and I'm going to throw some punches at you, okay? And I want you to block me. And I'm like, I was waiting for somebody to stop this crazy person from doing what he was doing. And I looked at the engineer just went, okay, let's, you try to be humble as an actor in there. You don't want to be that uppity actor who's like, I'm not going to do that. I know better than you. You're the director. So I was like, okay, if that's what you want. And so he comes up and he's throwing punches at me and I'm blocking. At one point he hit me in the shoulder and I was like, all right, whatever you want, And then we were doing the running sounds. And they're like, okay, here's a little running that we can use, if we need to plug it in. And so you go, and he's like, no, man, I want it to sound more like running. Like, pick up your feet, And so of course, as soon as you do that, you get this, And the engineer's just pulling his hair out. He's like, I'm never going to be able to use that because I can hear your feet, And he's like, no, it's not working. Here, let me help you. And he comes around behind me and he grabs me by the sides and he starts shaking me up and down. At this point, anything that came after that was just unusable too, I'm sure, because I just, it was so weird, and I was like, which doesn't sound like running at all. But it's funny when you get people who aren't familiar with voice directing,